Oh my god.
It's fine if we talk.
Oblivious. Alright.
Good luck.
Imagine years from now you're a farmer who's struggling to make a living because of low crop production and unsellable crops, all because of one reason: monoculture farming. You could have avoided this all with one simple fix if you just rotated your crops. Monoculture farming is an unethical tactic of farming that should not be used in the mass production of crops. It causes lower crop production, bad stewardship of the soil, and it also causes diseases to spread throughout the vegetation. To start off, I'll talk about how it causes lower crop production. Continuous monoculture farming can cause lower crop production for various reasons. Continuous monoculture farming is the growing of crops in one spot year after year, and this is according to Andrew McGuire in 2015 in his article called Ecological Theories, Meta-Analysis, and the Benefit of Monocultures. Monocultures is bad because it generally decreases the production of crops because of it depletes because of lost nutrients in the soil. This is according to Grace Communications Foundation in 2018. Here in Nebraska, farming is a very popular career, and many farmers use the monoculture farming method. And with this, the loss of production causes the supply of crops to decrease, and while the demand maintains. So then that causes the prices to increase, and just it would be harder to sell throughout the state. Instead, use the method of crop rotation to increase the yielding of crops. In 2018, Grace Communications Foundation published an article that mentions crop rotation improves soil health, quality, and usually resulting in a general increase of production. Second of all, this method also results in bad stewardship of the environment. Andrew Porterfield on May 4th, 2018 in his article, Is Monoculture a Bad Thing? It's Time to Revise Ideological Narrative. It takes out the nutrients in the soil because with monocultures, they use the same nutrients over and over again every single year, and it causes them to be used up faster than they can replenish. It also causes the soil to begin to erode because when you're using up those nutrients, those nutrients keep the soil together, so it causes it easier to erode because of the wind, the water, and rain to make it go away. According to Wonderopolis' article in 2018, Why is Crop Rotation Important? Crop rotation is a way to counteract all of these problems from monocultures. It allows the land to stay fertile and reduces the possibility of ground erosion because it keeps those nutrients in the soil. Lastly, monoculture farming makes it easier for the spread of diseases throughout a crop field. In 2018, a journal entry from Carbon Watch Trade mentions monocultures are more susceptible to diseases because it lacks the artificial nutrients and fertilizers that those crops may use or need. So then when you do that, it causes the farmers to use pesticides and herbicides more often, which can also be bad because it could then pollute the groundwater or the waterways or even or the environment around itself. Some of the diseases that occur within this are sclerotia, spores, and hyphae. This is from Joe Nunez and his Crop Rotation as a Method of Disease Control in 2010. This is also bad because it ties with crop production decrease in my first value and of crop production. So rotating crops decreases the time certain pathogens have to connect to a host within, like they can in monocultures, because year after year they connect to a certain host and they can just keep evolving and growing on those and spreading. But if you're in crop rotation, then you can you switch every year, so you don't have to worry about a pathogen finding a certain host and just sticking to it. So then it makes it harder, and they'll eventually die off. And the same goes for pests; they can't find a host, and they just eventually go away or just die off. And this is also from Joe Nunez in his Crop Rotation as a Method of Disease Control in 2010. In conclusion, these reasons are why monoculture is unethical and should not be used as a method of farming. Crop rotation is a simple fix to avoid all these problems caused by monocropping. Again, monoculture farming causes the lower crop production, bad stewardship of the ground, and the spread of diseases throughout the vegetation. If one stops using this method of farming and converts to crop rotation, then it'll be easier for farmers to maintain a good living and produce more crops that are available to consumers throughout Nebraska.